If you need help with addiction and don't know where to go, you can call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration 24 hours a day. The number is 1-800-662-HELP or 1-800-662-4357. They work around the clock and will help you find what you need.
Good evening, everybody. I am Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are on the Lifeboat. I want to welcome back everybody that was on the earlier live feed. I do appreciate you all showing up a little late tonight. I don't let Raven tell you any different. I wasn't on a date. Went over to my sister's house and had a lovely meal over at my baby sister's tonight. It was great. I had a chance to see my niece and nephew, which is always fun, and steak. Boy, people, I am a fan of steak. I'm sorry. I know it's probably not a popular and politically correct thing to say these days, but boy, oh boy, do I love steak. And this was a particularly good piece of steak. So, all right. Again, I want to thank everybody that showed up earlier today. It was a great live feed. We had a lot of people that hadn't been on any of the live feeds before. It's always a lot of fun when we have an opportunity to get people that haven't been there. That's something that, it's exciting. New crew members are great. And we had a lot of really positive feedback from a lot of them. We've got people in Sweden. We've got people in Switzerland. We got people in Ireland. It was just a great call. And it goes to show you people that, I think very oftentimes here in the US, we think about this epidemic of drugs and what it's doing to our country as something that is uniquely something that we have going on in the United States. And it's just absolute proof that, this is something that everywhere you look, all around the world, people are all enduring the same thing. This is a worldwide epidemic of drugs ruining people's lives. It's, it really is a time for a change. And I think that, to be on the front lines of this, to be in a position where we can actually do some good is something that is near and dear to everybody's heart. It really is. Also, people, we have in fact, you can see Mark this time, which doesn't normally happen. But if you look on your screen, you will see the bobble. My partner is there in the live. So not sure whether or not he's sticking around for that, but thought I would tell him that before he, now you'll get to see this action. Huh? I like it. All right, people. We earlier on today, we talked about a topic that was awesome, right? We went the whole hour. I wish I had given a little bit more time for Q&A. Unfortunately, we found ourselves in a situation where, there he goes. We found ourselves in a situation where we, the captain talked for a little bit too long. It happens from time to time, especially when I don't have my partner pointing at his watch. But it was a great talk, and there'll be a little bit of overlap tonight. I think you'll see how this last live feed kind of dovetails into to this one as well. People, we're talking about help, right? It's sort of the backbone and the basis for what we're doing here. This is a channel that, for better or worse, people, what we're doing here is trying to help individuals who are fighting the good fight. We talked about that last night, what it means to fight the good fight. And here we find ourselves in a situation where, there is a great number of people right now worldwide doing everything they can. And very oftentimes that means reaching out and asking for help. It also means people reaching out and extending help to individuals. So tonight we're going to talk about the differences, because obviously when asking for help, this is something that most addicts really struggle with. In fact, this is something most humans really struggle with, but obviously for addicts, it's a different thing. It really sort of goes against the very nature of the addict to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I need help. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about giving help. You know, one of the things that we do here each and every day is try to help individuals. And we talked about how if you want to keep the greatest gift that you're going to get in your lifetime, which is the ability to live a drug-free, chemical, habit-free life and party, right? Party, living the dream, living every single day to the best of your ability, and to do so without chemicals. You know, that's the goal. That's what we're doing every day, trying to give that away. There are people on this channel, and I've had some contact with many recently via emails, new people on the boat who have reached out and said, you know what, I've got a family member that I'm concerned about. You know who some of these people are because they've been very open in the comments section. But when giving help to an addict, this is a very dicey subject. It really is, because as we spoke about in the last video, the addict is a consummate actor. It's the truth. Every one of us went through this. In order to maintain the lifestyle of using drugs every single day, you have to be an actor. You have to be able to represent yourself as something that you're not. If you let the world know that you're addicted to drugs, the world tries to change it. And that's the last thing that any addict wants, is for people to step in and try to get them to put down their drug of choice. So as you start to reach out to these people, there are things that you have to guard yourself against. One of those is money. If you're reaching out to somebody who is in the life, there are very few circumstances where giving that individual money isn't going to cause you unbelievable problems. And it isn't going to keep them in the life for a longer period of time. I don't care what it is they tell you that they need that money for. This is just a stone cold fact. With people who are addicted to drugs, they will come up with stories. They will write soap operas in their heads, and they will do it day in, day out to come up with a reason for why they need $70, or any reason they need $150, or a reason they need. This is my advice, people, and take this to heart. If you have a child, or you have a friend, or you have someone who you're trying to provide assistance to, regardless of what that need is, if they say, you know, I need $150 because I got a driver's license issue and I got to be able to pay this, or I can't get my driver's license. If I don't have my driver's license, I can't work. There's no problem helping somebody like that, but drive them to the DMV. If you're going to step in and help an individual, if they say, you know what, I haven't been able to feed my kids, you know, I'm really at that point. Buying them groceries is a great thing. Handing them money to buy groceries is not. And I'm talking about, you go down, you buy the groceries, you keep the receipt, and you bring those groceries home with that individual, and you help them unpack those groceries and put them on the shelf, and take that receipt with you. If you knew the number of times I've watched this in my life, where the person drops off $200 worth of groceries and the person gets in the car, drives it back, and literally returns every single one of those items, because food is not a necessity to someone who is an addict. It's just a fact. I mean, the necessity is the next fix, the next line, the next drink, the next whatever. So as you start to reach out to people and you really want to put yourself in a position to help, you can do that financially. But I'm telling you, people, no matter what the story is, do not hand the money to the person in the life. If you do that, I assure you, what you're doing is buying them drugs. And you don't want to find yourself in a position where you buy that individual the fix that kills them, or you buy that individual you give them the money that they drive down and get caught in the process of buying. These are the kind of things that you will beat yourself up over for the rest of your life. 260 some odd people are going to overdose and die today in the United States. And do you know how many stories were told to get that money? You know how many people today are wringing their hands thinking, I paid for that. I gave them the money that ended their life. So as you start to provide assistance to somebody in the life, somebody who is using and every day getting high, it's a matter of making sure that that money, those finances, whatever it is you're doing, goes to the end user. If they say they need money for rent, drive on down to the landlord. If they say they need money for a driver's license, take them to the DMV, watch them get that license. If it's groceries, like I just said, people, I'm talking about across the board. And the best thing that you can do, if they reach out and say, I need help, I'm in a position where, or if they're honest enough to say, look, I'm sick, I need money, I am sick, the only thing that's going to get me well is this. Look, you give them money to get into rehab, you give them money to go to a clinic, and you drive there with them. You do not hand them money to go to a methadone clinic or a Suboxone clinic, because they are not going to do that. This is not an indictment of the individual. You understand? This is an indictment of the drug. Because if that person is in the life, you're not dealing with them. You know, so oftentimes we deal with loved ones and we think, well, I can trust Tommy, right? You know, this is a brother, or this is a son, or this is whatever. He's not going to lie to me. He is going to lie to you. And it's not, honestly, people, I know everybody gets really upset when I say this, but it's not the situation where this individual is in control of themselves. Because quite simply put, that's not the case. It's going to be the drugs, and it's going to be the alcohol, or whatever it is that is going to be making that happen. That is exactly where we're at, people. That is where we're at. So what you want to do is make sure that that money goes directly to whatever that cause is. Do you understand? I promise you, if you do otherwise, all you're doing is helping that person stay in the life. Now, are there times where decisions like that get made? You know what, people, that's up to you. That is up to you. But I promise you, if what you're trying to do is offer assistance and get somebody out of the life, then do just that. Take them to the Department of Motor Vehicles. Take them wherever you need to go. But the best thing that you can do for these individuals across the board is get them into some kind of a treatment program. Plain and simple. Get them into treatment. Now, they're going to kick and scream, right? So we talked about earlier in the show when we were talking about love. When the time comes that you're going to provide help to one of these people, the most important thing that you can convey is that you are willing to help them and do so without causing pain. That you can do so without that individual having to deal with the withdrawal, having to deal with the detox, having to deal with sobering up. I'm telling you, folks, and most of you I'm preaching to the choir on. There's a much smaller number of people here who are trying to help individuals compared to those who are here trying to get help. But just know that as it's a process, people. It really is. It's a situation where as much as we love these people, right, as much as we want to help these people, you have to guard yourself against the inevitable. And the inevitable is that these individuals' lives are being run by a chemical. They are not being run by the person, right? We've established this. How many times have we talked about a dictator, right? There's a dictatorship going on in the lives of your loved ones. And that dictatorship is what is calling the shots. So what you need to do is make sure that they know from Jump Street that you're not trying to cause them pain. The second that they start thinking about going without their drug, a door shuts, boom, right? A vault gets locked, and that individual is not hearing anything else you say. Because the truth is, people, that the idea of going through life without that chemical means pain. It means suffering. And for every person who's been trying to get clean for a long period of time, if your drug of choice is opiates, you have spent a couple of hours of every single day sick, right? It really gets to a point for people who are on opiates where they're not getting high anymore. Their high is not feeling sick. Their high is making the pain of withdrawal go away. You need to make these people understand that you're not trying to add to that pain. That's why here on the lifeboat, if somebody wants to show up here and say, you know, currently I'm using, you're never going to see us judge those people, because all that does is run them away. You understand? The best time, it sounds insane, but the best time to talk to somebody in the life is right after they used. It's the only time they're going to hear you. If you're trying to reach out and help somebody who is getting high every day, and you're going to try to talk to them while they don't have their substance, you are absolutely wasting your time. You are going to anger this individual, and you're going to do damage that in the future may cause you to not be able to help this person. For real. I was talking with someone this morning who's trying to help a family member, and I said, the next time that you talk to this family member and they're high, right? The next time you talk to them and they just got their drug of choice and they're set for the next 8 hours, that's the time where you need to get them on a telephone and try to three-way me in to talk to these people, because that's the only time they're going to hear you. When they are not on their substance, they are wallowing in guilt. They are wallowing in pain, all of the things that will make sure that they can't hear a word you're saying. They're not going to hear, I want to help you. They're going to hear, you want me to get sicker? You want me to live like this for the next week to 2 weeks? You don't know what I'm going through. And very oftentimes, people, when someone says you have no idea what I'm going through, they're telling you the truth. There's a reason that the lifeboat works. And it's because the individuals who come here realize that the people that are talking to them and the people that are giving them advice are people who absolutely do know what they're going through, right? These are people who have been there. The comment section of this boat is filled with individuals who absolutely have been there and done that. And that is why this works. That is why this is growing. That is why we're seeing people get sober. But do not waste your time and try to reach out to an individual who is sick, an individual who needs a drink, whatever their drug of choice is. Don't try talking to them when they are in withdrawal or when they are sober, because honestly, that's not normal. You understand that if you spend enough time high, that high becomes baseline. If you picture taking a piece of paper and drawing a line across it, right? You're not going above that line when you use. You're spending all of your life at that point deep below that line. And all that the addict is doing is using enough chemicals to get them back to a base level. They're just using to get normal. Well, don't try talking to someone when they're not normal. Doesn't make any sense. I hope you understand this, people. These are the general guidelines and the general rules as I recommend them, right? Everybody has an opportunity to go out and do all the research they want. Bring your life experience into this. Oh, Rip Curl, good to see you, my brother. You're bringing your life experience into this, but try and remember back to when you were using. Could anybody talk to you when you were needing that next whatever, whether it be a pill, a needle, a drink, whatever it is? Nobody can talk to you until you get that. That's the only thing in life that matters until it doesn't, right? Until that is taken care of, there's no talking about anything else. There's no thinking about anything else. So know the situation before you get into it, because most of the time, people, when you reach out to help an addict, you don't have an unlimited number of attempts. Plain and simple, you don't. You get a certain number of attempts at trying to help an individual before they realize that that's what you're after. At which point they are going to file you into the I am never picking up that phone file, right? Why would I pick it up? They're going to try to get me to quit. They're going to try to make me feel sick. They're going to try to make me feel uncomfortable. The defining characteristic of an addict is that he uses his substance to feel right. If he's not feeling right, don't waste your time and don't waste your opportunity. Pick and choose when you have your best chance to talk to somebody and actually see something positive come from it. There's no point in talking to someone if there's no chance that it's going to work. And these are the pieces of advice that I would give you. If you're reaching out today to talk to an addict, getting them to a place like this is ideal. Don't try to get them here sober. They're not going to come. And if they do, they're just going to hate everybody here. I mean, you can't, it really, people, there's just absolutely no point to it. So the next thing we need to talk about, people, is probably what makes way more sense to everybody here, because most of us are addicts. And most of us are not here solely for the reason of trying to help. We're here because we're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to go from being someone whose life has been ruled by a chemical or a habit and try to get past that. And in order to do that, in order to be successful in that, most individuals have to have help of some kind. Sure. There are people out there that have done it on their own. There are as many ways to sobriety as there are people. We never argued that point. We never said you can't do this alone. What we're doing is playing the numbers, right? We're shooting for the best possible case of success, the best chance you've got. And the best chance you've got is following a tried and true system that has worked. And that tried and true system is surrounding yourself with individuals who know what you are going through, so that the verbiage and the conversation and all of the interactions are something that you don't have to try to explain. If you're trying to tell somebody that's never done dope what it feels like to need the next fix, you're not getting help. What you're trying to do is educate someone who can't understand anyway. So the group setting has always worked since the very first dawn of the 12-step program, of two individuals finding out that this was something that could be treated, not cured, but most assuredly treated. That since that time, we've been playing the numbers. What is the best chance of success? Well, the best chance of success, cut and dried, no two ways about it, is a group setting, which is what we do here, correct? But people, if you're going to be successful within that group setting, it requires somebody saying, I need help. Now, it may not be those words, but when you come here and you say, hey, I'm feeling it. I'm sorry, I saw Saigon Cinnamon said, did I miss something? I noticed it says, don't drink the haterade. He likes that, by the way. I got a laugh out of it. And is that a new slogan? You know what? It's one of a slogan. Our slogan is never quit quitting, Saigon. I mean, I think you know that. That is our slogan. But look, when you do the right thing, when you're actually out here and you're helping people and you're successful in doing it, right? That really becomes the rub. When you are successful doing what it is you're doing, and everybody judges success differently. Mark and I judge success by the number of people who say, this is how long I've been sober. But there are people out there in the world that judge it by way different metrics. For instance, there are people out there who think, okay, since last Saturday, the boat picked up 150 some odd new crew members. Well, if you're somebody that's out there and you have less than 150 crew members, that's the kind of thing that might make you bitter. So you get a whole lot of hate. And what we do here and have done since day one is to say, don't hate the hater, right? It doesn't pay off. You can hate the hate, but there's no reason to hate the hater. These are miserable individuals. These are the kind of people that need prayers, not hate, right? Hate just begets more hate. So the banner that you see that says, don't drink the haterade is just our opportunity. It's just here at the Lifeboat for us to say, hey, man, you want to do something right? FTG, right? Forgive that guy because he's miserable, man. He's miserable. He's failed. And that people is a stick in the side, right? That's a thorn that some people really cannot deal with. So that's all that was, Saigon. It's definitely not the new slogan. The slogan is, and always will be, never quit quitting. Come on, that's the basis of everything we do. But we also don't need to drink the haterade, people. We're better than that. We know that, right? We are better than that. So back to my subject at hand before I got so, I do squirrel. We know that, people. I apologize. It's a squirrel thing. But anyway, it requires an individual to ask for help. And again, they're not literally saying the words, I need help. Although people have said that here. You know what? I could use some prayers or I could use some positive energy. There are people that say, hey, I need you all, right? I've seen that comment in the live feeds before. But if somebody comes here and says, hey, I'm having a tough time, make no mistake about it. They are saying, I need help. And that is jumping 60 feet out of the comfort zone for the average addict. And it is what we do here. It is really what makes us unique, is that addicts can come here and say, I need help, right? I'm feeling like I'm getting ready to use. Now, if you've been here long enough, you've seen how there were individuals in the old days that if you said, hey, I'm feeling like using, these people said stupid stuff, right? They'd come out of the woodwork and say, yeah, go ahead, use, get high. Look, we eliminate that. We run those people off. We say a prayer for them and we move on. But you have to be comfortable in a setting in order to show up and say, hey, man, I need help. That's what Mark and I do. We provide for you a safe place where individuals can come and ask for that help. But make no mistake, people, no matter how safe the environment, no matter what it is that we do, it still requires you to step out of your comfort zone in order to say, I need help. If it's something that feels so foreign to you that you can't say it in the comments section, may I please encourage people to reach out to us via email, right? Direct message. Head over to the Facebook page where we have built another safe harbor where individuals can go and ask for the help that they need, right? Because that's essential. If this is going to work, if you are going to use, and again, people, I'm not saying it's the only road to the finish line. I'm saying it's the highest probability for success. Take an example. You pick Michigan, right? A pretty good football team. They're going to be playing people next week, and the spread is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 56 points, right? They're going to be giving up 56 points. Now, you can bet on the other team, and about once every 15 years, that other team upsets somebody on a 56-point spread. It happens, but it's not the best chance for success. If you got a little bit of cash and you want to see the best chance of success, you're going to bet on the sure thing. Well, group therapy, asking individuals for help, discussing your problems, That's the safe bet when it comes to rehabilitation and recovery. So we're playing the numbers. It's what we're doing here at the Lifeboat. We're playing the numbers. And what we do that is different is we have set up a situation that makes it so that you don't have to get up, put on your coat, put on your hat, right? Get in the car, drive down to a meeting where you're going to be surrounded by people that there's a good chance you partied with, party, air quotes, people, ching ching, partied with when you were in the life. I mean, the one thing that really makes it tough concerning any kind of a 12-step group where you go and hang out at a meeting, I mean, unless you're in New York City or unless you're in some huge town, you're probably going to be sitting in a room with people who you did drugs with. I'm not going to recommend that in terms of best chances for success. We say all the time, try and get away from the individuals that you were hanging out with until you are rock solid in your sobriety. How's the safest way to do that? Well, the safest way to do that we have found, right? This is our personal belief. You don't have to subscribe to my personal belief, people. But I believe that this is the safest method. You're in your home. The group is here. There are people ready to help, and they're here 24/7. If you don't think so, head over to the Facebook page and put up a post that says, I'm hurting, and watch how fast people respond to you. I mean, the proof is that it's happening here every single day. And the best part is there are people from all over the world who are here doing this. Hold on. Saigon Cinnamon says he has tied up the Jabberwocky to the front of the boat to ward off haters. Nice stuff, Saigon. That is exactly the kind of, executive thinking that has made you a valued member of this crew. The never quit quitting was good, but the Jabberwocky on the front end of the boat, that's just genius, right? Absolutely genius. People, we joke, we have fun, but really what it boils down to is this. We need you to be able to feel comfortable enough in order to say, I need help, right? That's really what it boils down to. You have to be comfortable enough with this crew. It's one of the reasons we joke. It's one of the reasons we clown. It's one of the reasons that we do what we do, because we're building relationships that are so much more than a guy talking to a camera and a bunch of people in the comments section. That happens with videos. With live feeds, I'm reading what you're saying, I'm talking back, you're asking questions. You people are interacting in live time with one another. What we're doing here is unique, people. It's unique. What makes it unique? You make it unique. The love that you all show one another is what makes what we're doing here so much different than you see any other place. And it's on tap, for lack of a better way to put it. It's whenever you need it. It's right here. So day in, day out, we're going to be here doing what we do, doing these live feeds. You heard Mark say yesterday, if you were on the live feed, we talked about changing the format slightly to make this more like a call-in show. And we really feel, and everybody else seemed to agree, we really feel like that might be one of the best bets for how this format is going to go moving forward. It's going to give people an opportunity for a little bit of anonymity. There are going to be people who can basically anonymously call instead of having to type something out there and put themselves out. Now you're going to have individuals who, if that's a little uncomfortable, they can pick up the phone. No one's going to see the name. If they don't want it out there, we're not going to share it, but they can call and say, hey, here's my question. Here's where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. We're really kind of looking forward to this, people. And I really think it's going to be probably the best format for the show. The great thing is it doesn't change whatsoever how you're doing what you're doing. You'll still be in the comment section. You'll still be interacting with one another, but you're going to have an opportunity for at least a period of every show for individuals to be calling in. And there are going to be questions that, that anytime someone asks a question, there's usually 6 other people that had it, right? But giving anonymity, you're going to give people the opportunity to ask questions that those 6 weren't going to ask either. And that's the beauty of the concept. I know I'm excited about it. Mark is super excited about it. I think that this is the future of the lifeboat. But any way you shake it, people, it still comes down to the big question, right? Can you feel comfortable enough to come here and say, I need help, right? It doesn't have to be those words. Those are 3 tough words, people. Make no mistake about it. I need help. That's a very difficult phrase for the average addict to utter. However, let me go over a couple that'll work. Okay, I'm having a bad time. Much easier, right? You're saying the same thing. And the crew here will know what you're saying and they will jump on you. They'll jump on you with love. They'll jump on you with support. They'll be there to ask you what's going on. without you having to say, I need help, right? I'm having a bad time. I'm struggling. I feel like I could use a little support. Boy, am I glad I'm here. I had a really bad day. Any of these things are synonyms, right? They are exact roadmap to get to the same point as saying, I need help. But if you don't ask for it, people, you're not going to get it. Sure, there's a tremendous amount of love that gets bounced around in the live feed chats. There's love all over the place there. But sometimes, people, you need something more specific than that. You need the ability to say, this is why I'm hurting. And the beautiful thing about this is the fact that, we call this the lifeboat because everybody here is in the same boat. And you are going to get wisdom from people who are 3 years sober instead of 30 days, or who are 10 years sober instead of, a year and a half. There are so many different levels of experience. There are so many different amounts of sobriety. There are so many different people that have been through the exact same thing that you're going through and have already won for all intents and purposes, right? They're into the meat of this. They're past the I'm really thinking about using every day and into the I'm trying to shape my life into something perfect. Because once you can eliminate the substance and once you can allow your brain chemistry to start feeling better again, nice. Once you allow your brain chemistry to start getting on a more even keel, then really amazing things start to happen. But before you can get to that, people, you got to get the brain right, which means a period of time off of the drug. Just like we say, don't try to talk to somebody who is in the middle of withdrawal sickness because it's a waste of time. Trying to work on your life when you need to put a needle in your arm is a waste of time. What you need to do is get that substance gone. People, I got to stop for a second because I'm a squirrel. C.W. Terry says, I'm currently writing you guys a letter. I hope you all read it tomorrow when I post it on the Facebook group. The reason that I brought this up is because after the live feed, I went back through the 3 o'clock live feed. I went back through and C.W. Terry said, you know what? I'm having a tough day. Seems almost poetic that he's here right now. That is a gentleman that said, look, I'm having a tough day. People, when you read that, right, know that that gentleman would like everybody here to just throw a little support, a prayer, right? A hey, man, we're here for you. It's amazing what the phrase we're here for you can do. If you don't believe it, people, be on the receiving end of that sometime and just watch what that feeling feels like. We have spent our lives alone. Even if you're in a room of 60, you're alone. It's the nature of addiction, right? It's only you and the dope. It's you and the brew. It's you and whatever, and that's the way the substance wants it. For the love of God, if you let friends get in, you know what they try to do? They try to take over that space. They try to become your friend. They try to love you. The last thing in the world that chemical wants is anybody in your life that cares about you. So they isolate. That's what happens. Addicts isolate because friends threaten that usage. Make sense? The reason that the lifeboat is so dangerous to addiction is because there are so many people here that care. You're making contact with new individuals, right? Points of contact. How many times have we talked about this? Creating new memories. This is what makes somebody slide from the I'm using to the I'm quitting. The more points of contact that you can make, the better off you're going to be. And you know what, people? I just saw somebody that posted that said, I feel lousy, guys. You know what's happening? Huh? All right. Handle it, my brother. Well, I'll tell you what, Brandon, it seems to me that each time now you're getting a little bit further. You know what? You can beat yourself up. We talked about this in the past, but it's just like watching a kid take those steps, right? We talked about this. That's a visual image that makes sense. You know what I'm impressed about? I'm impressed that you're here the day after. I'm impressed that you didn't disappear for a week, right? You're back here, you're dusting yourself off. I tell you what would make me happy as all get out is if you shoot me an email, right? at CaptainTommyScoville@gmail.com. Not going to bust your chops, but I'd kind of like to hear the story. And I don't know that it's appropriate to ask you to tell it in the comments section, but I would definitely like to talk to you, because one of the things that you're going to find, people, with the never quit quitting is if you can identify and you find one thing that seems to be what causes that each time, addressing that issue and doing it with another individual is something that can really make a difference. I've got an email out there, and it really, people, in a perfect world, that's what that email is used for. So much of what we do can be covered right here with me staring at a camera and you people talking in the comments section. But Brandon, please send me an email, brother. Let's talk. Because I'm telling you, I'm proud of you. Whether you believe that or not, I'm proud of you. The fact that you're back here the day after, that's a good thing. In fact, that's a great thing. It means that, you're getting up faster. This is a process. I'm not beating you up. But boy, I'd like to talk to you about it. I'd like to see if we can identify what these, what is the defining trigger. And I'd like to try to work on, and this is for everybody, man. I'd like to work on the skill of saying, instead of heading to the liquor store, before I reach out to somebody here, I'm going to reach out before I do it. Or before I call the dope man, or before I pick up the pipe, or whatever it is that you do, that go-to move is to somebody on the boat. Again, not beating you up, brother. Glad you're here. But this is a skill that once you learn, and this is just what we're talking about today, is reaching out for help. Has Seventh Son come back and explain to us what that, because if he's in the DTs.
I don't think he is. I think I missed. Okay. It was Leisure 7. Leisure 7. He was saying he has the flu and he's sick. I read it wrong. So that was my fault.
No, you know what? I'd rather err on that side than the other, my brother.
Yeah, for sure.
I would much rather err on that side.
But yeah, I mean, there's even Grant's in here. He's cool too. He's talking about some stuff going on. So I mean, I think that people are talking, and I think it's a good thing. And when that happens, any subject we have going on, we like to make sure you guys are okay before we concentrate on anything. You know what I mean? That's what we do. So.
And people, so that you understand the format, to keep me from squirreling, I really spend most of my time staring at my partner, which is why I got the bobblehead thing so down. But it is, there's nothing more important than what's going on in the comment section. And I tell you, man, jump into whatever we're talking about, because what we do here, it's not, I've said it before, people, I could honestly be going blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's obviously good that we're talking about things that get the conversation going. But this is about what goes on in the comment section. So,
well, I mean, I think it's important to have a topic too, and we need to, try to stay to it, for whatever. Yeah. But when stuff is going on, I mean, you asked me to do that too. I think.
I have.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I think we both agree on that. It's kind of a.
And if you're looking at the comment section right now, what do we have? We got people saying, "Here's my email.
Yeah.
Here's how you can contact me." Right.
Exactly.
This is the dream, people.
Yep.
This is the dream. It's happening, and it's happening every day. Hey, Saigon, God bless you, brother, for being who you are, man. You are as solid a cat as we have on this boat. And I'll tell you something, Brandon, you could do a lot worse than reaching out to Saigon Cinnamon. But look, now you've got the ability to get a hold of him. You got the ability to get a hold of me. There are a lot of people that you can reach out to. I'm telling you, you're going to get better at this. The fact that you made it as long as you did before you stumbled, that's awesome. But the best part is how fast you're back here. For real, that's what it's all about. Yep. When people disappear for a week at a time, that's you're relapsing. There's stumbling, there's falling, there's relapsing, and then there's full blown I'm using again.
Yep.
That was a stumble. And the fact that you're here today proves that. It really does.
One thing I would say too, Brandon, don't dwell on it. Okay?
No.
Honestly, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think that a lot of us, that we start feeling bad for what we just did, and then it just snowballs right back into using again. And I think if you can get past that, like feeling bad for messing up, like you let somebody down. Well, you didn't let nobody down because you're already back up. You're there, you're here, and that's why we know that you're trying. So it's not. And then Tommy said at the beginning of the show, we don't judge people. That's the wrong thing to do. You want to start judging people on what they're doing? I don't care if you're doing the exact opposite of what I think you should be doing. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to say, hey, man, if that's what you think you need to do, I'm going to support you. I mean, that's how we do things. It's, if somebody's going to scream at me and yell at me and tell me I'm doing everything wrong, am I going to listen? No. I'm going to put a wall up and I'm not even going to talk to them again. So what chance do I have to help people if I'm doing that to others? You got zero chance. So that's just where I'm at with it. But so don't feel bad. Get past that. I mean, it's easier said than done. I get it. I really do. You can't help how you feel. You can only help how you react to how you feel. That's it. You're going to feel how you feel. So when you come here, you're going to feel love. That's what you're going to feel. And I think that's why you came back. That's why you're here talking. So, I mean, that's just what it is.
Yep. Amen. And I see some really cool messages. I got Joanna just said she just joined the Facebook group, which means the support system gets bigger. And I'll tell you what, I saw a great message from Grant Harper who said, "Thanks, Mark. You're amazing." And I'll tell you what, people, I got to concur. There's nothing better than having two individuals all pulling for the exact same thing at the exact same time. Seriously, your voice coming in and saying, "Hey, we need to talk about the comment section, people." That's what this is. That's what we do. This is that's the dream. That is absolutely the dream. Now, Rip Curl. Listen carefully, my brother. Captain Tommy Scoville at gmail.com. I'm sure that I have missed the email. It's my fault. I'm sure you sent it twice, but I need you to send it one more time because apparently I have misplaced your email, and I would like to talk to you and respond back to you. So if you could send that to me one more time, I would appreciate it.
I got it too. I'll send it to you, Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. What's up, Ripper? In the house.
Yeah, we love having you here, Rip. We really do, man. Every time I look up and see that name in there, it gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling. And I really appreciate everybody getting on tonight. I know we went a little bit late, but it's great to see you people coming out here. It really means the world to me.
Ripper's on the west. Ripper's on the West Coast, so that's why.
Yeah. Well, for the East Coasters, I know that Saigon Cinnamon is here, and it's a late night for you, and that means a lot to me, man. It really does.
Yeah, we just got, you guys, this is, we focus on the positive, and that's what we do. So, and, whatever time we're here, I'm just glad we're able to talk to you guys. And for the most part, on the weekends, we get it, but that's one thing you can count on with us. We're not going to, we're going to be here, we're going to be here. If we're not, we're going to come out here and tell you, hey guys, something happened, we can't be here. So this is something that's going to be consistent, and I think we've already proven that, number one. Number two, I think that, people that are coming in here and saying what they say is just a testament to what you guys are doing. Not me and Tommy. It's you guys. Grant and Brandon and everybody else in here could be comfortable talking to me and Tommy. If they're not comfortable talking to you guys, guess what's going to happen? They're going to email us. That's what will happen. So the fact that it's out there in the chat room is telling me and telling Tommy both that you guys are doing the work here. It ain't us. So just know that. And I know Tommy appreciates it. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Every one of you. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Back at you, Fi.
Grant Harper, he's talking about benzos. You know what? The struggle with benzos is real. That is a very, very tough addiction. It really is.
Yeah, that's why I stepped in when he was saying that, because I even typed in there a minute ago. If you start feeling shaky and start to sweat, please don't be by yourself. Go somewhere where at least somebody else is there. That is one of the initial signs for seizure, and that is the biggest thing that happens to people coming off of benzos. You will completely seize out. You won't even know what you're doing. So you'll space out. You'll feel like you're not there. If you start feeling like that, go somewhere where somebody's at. Please. And then get some medical help.
Call. Yeah, or make the call and get some medical help. And Saigon Cinnamon, do not apologize for Alice in Wonderland quotes. I have my family has referred to me as the Mad Hatter for. If you knew the number of people that refer to me as the I'm an Alice guy. My whole sleeve is Alice. You can't apologize for Alice in Wonderland quotes. And Rip Curl's going to reach out. Awesome. Terry, I want to tell you something. Terry said, I am not, comfortable talking to anyone. Well, you're comfortable sending an email because I've seen some unbelievable emails from you, my friend. So if you want to communicate that way, I love it because you're an incredible communicator and a great guy. We're really happy to have you here. And the fact that you're stepping outside your comfort zone to help individuals here says a load about who you are. It really does. It says an amazing amount about who you are. And it proves something that I talked about for probably 20 minutes on the last live feed, that when an individual gets sober, they don't get back to baseline in terms of EQ. They end up more kind and more caring and more loving than anybody walking the walk that has not been in the same boat as us. There is no mistaking the kind of love and the kind of affection that can only come from someone who has been addicted. We have seen a part of the world that leaves scars, and the scars that they leave actually cause people to go one of two directions: to be unbelievably kind or to be a jackwagon. And the people on this boat demonstrate day in, day out that they've chosen the route of kindness. And for those who haven't, got a prayer for you guys. Got a prayer for you.
Let me tell you,
you might come around. We'll be here.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's been my experience throughout my recovery and my continued, work at that, is the fact that the majority of people end up being on the side of the good. And I say that because we often look at this world as a glass half empty, or there's more negative out there than good. And it's not the truth, okay? It's just not. I see it every day, and the reason why we see the negative is because that's what we remember. When something's traumatic, we remember it. When stuff is like good, unless it's really, really good, we don't consider that traumatic, so we kind of forget about it. And it just doesn't come to our mind at the beginning of all that. So we oftentimes look at all the negative stuff going on because it draws us that direction. Well, no, we don't do that here. You got to pass through a light curtain to get to our chat room. That's just what happens. I mean, it's just it's what it is. So, and I see it in there there's 7th. He's in here now. What's up, buddy? Cool.
We got two. I got 2 comments too that I got to talk about real quick. Go for it. CW says, Tommy, you're the first person I ever told the things I did in your email. Well, God bless you, brother, for real, because they touched me. And the fact that you felt comfortable enough with me and with the boat, that honestly gives me a level of hope that very little else does in the world. And the other thing, I am sorry, but Grant, my friend, he says, I've been prescribed them for 10 years. That's 2 milligrams of Xanax twice daily. I want to tell you something. That's a pile of alprazolam. You cannot quit this cold turkey, brother. Listen very carefully. I'm not a doctor. I know a ton about benzos, and you cannot stop that cold turkey. Whoever is writing you a prescription for 2 milligrams twice a day, so you're taking 4 milligrams of alprazolam daily, you need to talk to that individual, right? He is a doctor, and you need to tell him you want off. Yep. More than likely, they are going to give you what they call Detox Protocol. And that Detox Protocol, they're going to move you off alprazolam. You're probably going to go to lorazepam, which is a different substance. It doesn't, Ativan, correct. Doesn't have the exact same sting to it, but they're going to take you down slowly so that you're not going to go through the danger that we're talking about with seizures and delirium tremens and all the things that can happen. I'm not a doctor, but you need to talk to one. Yep. And if there is a guy writing you scripts for that, he is the cat that you need to talk to. And please, my brother, do it immediately, right? Or continue to take exactly what he prescribed you until you talk to him, because this is not something that you play with. If you were a guy snorting coke, I would tell you to quit. If you were, a guy smoking pot, this is one of the substances that you just cannot play with, brother. No one here is judging you, but I'm telling you right now, if you're going to detox off this, you're going to do it with a medical assist, the way that they tell you to do it, because that is how it has to be done. You hear?
Let me tell you this real quick. I'll tell you this, Brandon. Grant. Is it Grant? Grant. Yeah, Grant's going off the
Grant
benzos.
Harper.
Yeah, Grant, listen, man. When I was in in-house rehab, and I've only told this a couple times, we had a group session once a day, and it was because they keep the men and women separate. There was a woman that had to be in a wheelchair all the time, not because she couldn't walk, but because she was coming off of benzos. And the reason why is because they were afraid she was going to seize out. Okay? And she had been on, obviously she was on doing a lot of street drugs too. Okay, that's why she was where I was at. It's not just a prescription. I mean, this is way more than that. But I'm saying this so you realize how serious this is. That woman in our group session seized while she was in that wheelchair and died on the floor. Right in front of all of us. And she was in a medical facility. So you better just please, please, please get help. Get medical help. Don't do that on your own. Please. I mean, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm really not.
No.
I just want it to be real.
Yeah. No. All we're saying is this. There's a doctor writing you a prescription for that. He's the person that you need to tell you intend to detox off of it, because there is a protocol, and this man has been trained for that protocol and can write you the prescriptions for exactly what you need to take so that you are being taken care of, man. Don't look, we're not judging you, bro. If it takes a year, whatever it takes, the fact that you're ready to make that move is awesome. You ain't got to be in a hurry, bro. You ain't got to be in a hurry.
It may be something where they can like
do is talk to your doctor. That's it.
They're just going to slowly cut you back is what's going to happen. It's not going to be something they're going to yank. And again, when I was doing all that stuff, benzos, I would explain it like this. Actually, the doctor said this to me. He said, like, when you take a Xanax, it's like getting a big breath of air in and you feel okay after that. Ativan, he said it's kind of like putting an oxygen mask on and wearing it all day. That's what he said to me. That's what it is, because it's a time release thing with Ativan. And that's why. It's longer lasting, and you don't get that smack in your face, calm down stuff. And that's what you want if you're trying to get off of that stuff.
Correct.
But please, and again, I'm not a medical doctor either. And just like Tommy said, I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've studied a lot. But that doesn't mean that I have any kind of professional medical advice. And there might even be stuff there that me and Tommy are unaware of that can help you. And that's the thing. So please, I guess basically what me and Tommy are saying is, if you're questioning any of it, if you weren't, I hope you are now, and I really hope that you go get medical help if you're going to try to come off of that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then the beautiful thing is this, you're not buying these on the street, right? You have a doctor that's writing your prescription for it. He is who you need to be in a hurry to talk to. In the meantime, just keep taking what he told you to take. The fact that you're ready to make that move is awesome, but the way to do it is the correct way. We don't encourage anything but to go with the correct way.
And if you,
Deja said she had some things running around in her head. I think the pace of the comment section might have had her head spinning. So thoughts and prayers with Deja. Deja, you have a great night. Thank you for all you do here on the boat. We really do appreciate you. We really do.
And one more thing, Grant, before we move on from that, if you need help finding some place or someone to go to as far as doctors and things like that to get off of this, just email me. My email's in the comment section in the description also. And I'm sure Tommy will do the same for you, or just anybody.
Reach out in a heartbeat.
If you're wherever you're at in the country, that's really all I would have to know, and I can find something somewhere that would at least facilitate you to a phone number of some sort. And I'm not saying that you're not working with your doctor. I don't know. I didn't see if you said yes or no with that. But 4 milligrams a day of that.
Give to every single person that brings up benzos and taking 4 milligrams a day. I mean, and listen, don't think for a second that we're saying that you're taking an ungodly amount, but you're taking enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know guys that were on clonazepam, which is like even further up the food chain, and we're doing 6 and 8 milligrams a day. The point is, this is not something that's going to be difficult if it's done correctly. And it's one of the few drugs out there that they can use drugs within the same family to just taper you off and make it a painless process. And, that's the best case scenario always. Always.
They will give you phenobarbital too. It's an anti-seizure medicine.
They're going to take care of you. So just make sure that you reach out to the professionals.
It's the same as coming off alcohol. Honestly, it's what it is.
No, absolutely no doubt about it. It does the exact same thing in the brain. It really is it's booze in a pill, right? They put some feel good, qualities to it, but it's just booze in a pill. So, Dave, Grant, we appreciate you, brother. I mean, for real. And the fact that you're coming here and being open, the number of people who lurk, the number of people who come back, the number of people who are going to see this in a year, and your honesty and your openness is touching so many more lives than just what's going on with you. That's the beauty of what we do, right? It's the beauty of the honesty and the openness on the boat. take Joe Birdwell, right? Joe is out here doing what he's doing, but the number of lives that are going to be affected by him, people, we're not tapping out, right? This boat's just getting rolling. Yep. So 8 to 10 years from now, how many people are going to have watched him fight the good fight on this, right?
Yep.
There's no telling how many people. And just like with you, Grant, how many people are going to show up here one day and say, you know what? I'm ready to quit. I'm going to quit today. I'm going to cold turkey this stuff. And they're going to see this video and realize that it's not something that they want to do. I really appreciate your honesty, brother.
Yes.
I really appreciate you coming here and doing what you did. That's stand-up stuff, man.
And that's what I was going to say about that with you saying the lurking thing. Grant, you probably just helped people you don't even know yet. That's what I'm trying to say. The fact that you're able to open up in there, whoever's lurking in there might be doing the same thing. There might be somebody out there that's doing exactly what you're doing right now and had no idea that that could be the issue. And they don't even need to say anything in the chat now because now they're going to go get help just because you were willing to open up. And that, and again, I have to say it's a testament to our chat room, not me and Tommy. That's the chat room doing that. It's
no question.
I mean,
no question. And Derek N, send me an email. Derek, email me. You and I will talk about this. Send me an email. That's where you're at. There are plenty of things to talk about, but we'll do it in the comment section because it is a 2-hour show. So you reach out to me, bud, and I got you. Tommy, there's also a genetic test that tests how your body metabolizes different drugs of all types. It truly helps with your doctors choose what works best for your body. It makes a huge difference. I love it.
Yes.
Once again, it's just more testament to the fact that best case scenario, people, is always, like anything else, truthfully, going with the medical, method of going any one of these things is always the best case scenario. However, there are drugs you can drop. And there are drugs you can't. Right?
Yes.
If you're snorting cocaine today, go ahead and quit. Right? It's going to be uncomfortable. You're doing some methamphetamine, you're watching Joe Birdwell. Just go ahead and quit. There are drugs you can do that with. We just don't want you doing it with benzos. We don't want you doing it with alcohol. So
yep,
it is what it is.
That is the one thing. If you're having problems with insurance, if you go to those places, guys, like rehabs, Grant, if you go in there and tell them that's what you're doing, the insurance has no choice. They have to allow that, just so you know.
That's an absolute fact.
That's alcohol and benzo. So if you're having if you think your insurance won't cover certain things, don't worry about that. They'll get you in there, I promise. I mean, it's
no question.
I don't even think the facility is allowed to turn you away at that point because they know.
Not. So no, they are not. They are absolutely not. You go in there and tell them it's an alcohol or a benzo detox, they cannot turn you away. It is what it is.
Yep.
That is an absolute fact.
And I want to say something about Rip, too, real quick. Rip, dude, Rip, you guys haven't heard Rip's story yet, but let me tell you something. The man knows, just like what me and Tommy are talking, and the thing with Rip, his wife's a nurse. So
excellent.
Yeah, so, I mean, he hears and sees, and he knows, guys. So, I mean, he's got really good advice. So
excellent. Hey, it is good to see DJ Daddy-O in the comment section. People, this is a great, upstanding member of the lifeboat in good standing, and he's a guy that works third shift, right, and has been doing so since 1988.
Oh,
right?
Ouch.
He's a welder. This man has been going hard since 1988.
Much respect.
A brother. Make no mistake about it, a brother, and just a great guy. But I know that on the weekends, this is his opportunity to kick back from the third shift, and he's here on the boat. And what does that tell you, man? I mean, For real. Coming here to support everybody. DJ Daddy-O, Big T, I love you, my brother. I'm really happy that you're here. I mean that. I love looking out there and seeing the new avatar. It makes me happy, man. It really does. So thank you so much for being here. Folks, this has been an amazing live feed. Boy, do I say that every day? I do. I don't. I do. I do, don't I? Every day.
Something, guys, just so you guys know before we get off here real quick, something me and Tommy's kicked around, and it may be something we do. I know I can't do it tonight, but we talked about, when we do start having this kind of thing happen, and we're having people in the chat, and everything's still kind of just rolling, and it's really time to shut the stream down, we may shut it down and start a second one up. I know I can't do that tonight, but, but that may come in the future. And the reason we do that is because, obviously, the algorithm, it really does. People won't watch things over an hour. So on a replay, sort of thing. But if it comes, make no mistake, if we're in here and there's somebody in here and we're still talking to, trying to get help to, we're not cutting the stream. Promise.
No, we did that earlier too because we were on one.
Yeah,
and DJ Daddy O, I know you've been here, my brother. I literally wrote your name down first thing, but you know how the squirrel is. No, it's been great to see your name out there from Jump Street. You literally were here from the very beginning, but it means the world to me that you are, man. Doing third shift, I did this, and the fact that you're here means the world to me. Greg F., great to see you. Everybody, all the people here, man. Charlie Mullins, Charlie says every day, man, make sure that you tell somebody today that you love them. Charlie, today it's you, brother. I love you, man. I really do.
Exactly.
So happy that you're here. All right, everybody. We have reached the witching hour. I want to thank everybody that got on the live feed tonight. And for those of you who got on both, you're just troopers. I love you. I really do. Tomorrow morning at 8, I will be coming up. That's a video that we're going to be doing. Where can I find the goodbye letter format? I'll tell you what. There is a whole, if you go over to the playlists, there is a whole section that is nothing but goodbye letters. So just go over to where it says playlists, and it will tell you everything. If you want it in an outline form, I'll just send you one. So you can email me and just say letters, and I'll give you basically an outline of how to do it. Everybody does it a little different, but I can shoot you something like that if you want it, Terry, for sure.
There's no wrong way to do it, CW.
And Phi comes in. This is definitely something, a little love from the Mark Pyers group. Apparently, Phi has been investing in a little baby poo.
Little Pyers.
If you don't know what that is.
Mark Pyers, Renaissance Man. Heck yeah, get over there.
If you don't know what that is, then you should probably stop over and check out Mark Pyers over on Renaissance Man. It's the newest crypto. If you're not in on it, people, you'll regret it later. I'm telling you, you will regret it later.
Oh, man. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So to Grant Harper, to the rest of you, to everybody who's here, I'm telling you, you people make me proud on a semi-minutely basis. You really do. And Captain Red Cheeks, I would assume he's talking about me blushing after Lady Crispin. You're a funny girl, Thane. You're a funny girl. So, all right, people. Between now and tomorrow morning, when we do this again, and I tell you what the schedule for the day is, please make sure that you reach out there and try to save somebody. All right. I love you guys. I know that, there's other places you can be. The fact that you're here supporting others is the best thing in the world. I am Captain Tommy Scoville, and on the other side of the glass,
Mark Wages.
All right, people.